And behind us is Summers, head of security.
Pleasure.
All right, well, let's just get right down to business. What brings you over here?
Absolutely. Well, after having a chat with the few members of your group that were by our compound the other day, I realized you might potentially be able to deal with a problem that we're now currently facing. Not many people seem to be competent. However, I get the vibe from your group that you are quite competent. There seems to be a couple of people living in our sacred mountains, or at least they claim they're living there by the note that they've left us. They have been spying on us all day and disrupting the peace, trying to lure wolves into our camp, and it's getting quite tiresome.
Hmm.
How good would you be interested in perhaps flushing them out and bringing them to me?
You want them alive?
Of course.
Huh. Do you know how many of them there are? Any idea?
I've only seen two. There may be more, but I've only seen the two.
All right, and you don't by any chance know their names or faces,
I do not. I
distinguishing
know one
marks?
wears wolf head.
A wolf head?
One wears the wolf head and he signed his note wolf. Did you get eyes on the other one that was with him? Her?
Not. They both wear wolf heads, to be honest.
Do they? They will not come down from the mountain and talk to us. Instead, they continue to disturb the peace. These are sacred lands that we must protect, and they're making it quite difficult to do so.
I
And I
see.
don't like the fact that they're spying on us. Not that we have anything to hide, but it's most unsettling. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I wouldn't want people to be, meandering about watching me while I, do do whatever I do during the day. We can certainly look into it. Of course, we need to discuss payment before we do anything.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What would your services cost us?
That is a good question. That is a good question. I'm not entirely sure what we need, since need is such a strong word. And as a fairly large group, we have all the means to collect the things that we certainly need fairly easily and fairly quickly. Um,
Well,
I'm sure
we are
we
humble people.
I'm sure we have questions that could be answered, right, Doc?
In a
Strider?
manner of speaking, yes.
Yeah, definitely questions need to talk
What
mostly.
sorts of what of questions?
See, for us, transparency is very important. We're very clear with our employers, those who hire, on what we do, how we go about doing it, and what we're willing to do to complete the job, right? We
Mm-hmm.
pull no punches, we make no bones about it. If you hire us to
Mm-hmm.
kill somebody, we're going to kill them. If you want us to cut their heads off and put them on stakes outside your driveway, we can do that. No shine off my shoes, right? It's not long as it's not one of our people.
Mm-hmm. Of
So
course.
what we need perhaps is a little bit more information from you, perhaps. Are you the leader of your group?
I am
High
the High
matriarch,
Matriarch,
I
yes.
believe.
The high matriarch, okay. And what do you do in your sacred mountains?
For the most part, we simply protect them. Occasionally, we do some hunting, and we do some mining because Kaligo has blessed us with wealth. But we don't do that
I'm so
very often,
I'm
simply
sorry,
because
who?
we are humble
Kaliga?
people. Kaligo, the
Kaligo.
goddess that we worship.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's like a shrine.
Need your coffee?
A shrine is an interesting term to put it. See, Kaliga lives in the mountains. Her heart resides in the mountains, and it is our duty to protect them.
Oh, so like a living thing.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Huh. Okay. Well, I mean, we are business people, so we don't want to. Obviously, I'm not going to ask for payment before we do the job, so we can probably stop it right there. Unless you have anything to add, Strider?
So you said she lives in the mountains that you're at? I'm assuming it was
Yes.
that lake, that hidden lake that you showed us all. That's her heart. That's where she lives. It's that sacred lake. That's why you're at one with her, because you did your chanting and your singing and stuff like that when you were there more than what we've seen anywhere else. That was
Oh.
where you're at one with her.
Oh, we are one with her there, yes. It is a beautiful place, but that is not where she resides. She's all within the mountains, just in the lake.
Yeah.
She's in the soil and the trees and the air we breathe, and in every
And
ray of sunshine that lands on every blade of grass.
okay. And that ritual you did, what was that? Over by the
We were...
trader. What was that for?
Oh, we were simply calling upon Kaligo, asking for her blessing and her guidance.
Blessing for what? Guidance for what?
Well, to do her will, of course.
And what is her will? What would she have you do?
Ah, well, I am afraid if she does not whisper to you, we cannot reveal all of her secrets. We have our
Yes.
orders.
Okay, alright.
Perhaps in time she will speak to you as well.
I doubt that. I got a thick skull.
She can get through the thickest of skulls. She is the
Yeah.
all-powerful after all.
I don't know, I'm a God-fearing man. I don't think I've got one God. That's enough for me. Not to
Okay.
disparage your goddess in any way, obviously, but one God's enough for me.
I
Doc,
can understand.
do you have any questions or concerns, Doc?
At this moment, no.
Okay. Well, Raven, when would you like us to take care of your little pest problem?
As soon as you are able to, of course. I would rather it done sooner rather than later, just simply because I don't like the feeling of eyes upon me for weeks at a time. It is hard enough being High Matriarch and having everybody look upon me, always being watched. It's a bit daunting, if I say, at times. It would be nice if the eyes from the mountains would cease.
Okay. And what if they don't want to come willingly? Could I drag their corpses to your front door? Will that suffice, or would obviously you prefer them alive? I understand that, but we don't always get what we want,
Uh,
right?
I would prefer them alive. However, if you have no other option, by all means do what you must.
All right. Perhaps the payment upon delivery of the two wolves, maybe to be a little bit larger, a larger sum if I deliver them alive.
Perhaps, yes.
All
Just
right.
remember, we are humble people, and wealth is not something we accumulate much of. However, our mountains are rich and bountiful, with many different mining nodes that you can get ores from, such as iron, copper,
Right.
and tin.
Well, I mean, wealth can be, defined in many different ways, right? Hell, knowledge, physical items, guns, ammunition, alliances. You never know.
Alliances are always good. I'm afraid as a religious order we do not have much in the way of weapons, just enough to keep ourselves safe, and that's about it.
Wait, I was simply making examples.
I do believe it might be time for a very quick nap.
Yeah.
We will reconvene shortly.
I'm sure.
Indeed.